Hey, it's Jen. This is Bitch in a Hurry, Not So Mystical Tarot. This is going to be a general energy reading for Friday, October 5th and Saturday, October 6th. I'm just going to get an idea of what the general vibe is. And last time we ended up with this progression of the Justice card, and then we headed into the Ace of Cups and the King of Cups, and what it said to me was that we needed to recognize some things for what they were, bring them to judgment, and open ourselves up for something new, whether it's a new relationship, new job, new opportunity, something personal though, like something emotional and personal. So time to let something go and make room for something new. And when it finalized this progression with the King of Cups, it showed that this thing that you were going to take in was going to become complete. Like you would actually see that come to full fruition, and it would be a really amazing thing in your life. So hopefully a couple of you took that to heart and made that choice to get rid of something in your life that really wasn't working, and look for something that was going to work, or not even look for something, but just allow something that was going to work for you. So we're shuffling, and we're shuffling. Let's see what we got going on here. It's been a couple of days, so it was a very crazy weekend, very busy. We didn't have any time off, so I'm feeling like I'm in catch-up mode. That chaos was real. So as soon as I get maybe one more card, we'll stop and we'll begin the reading here for Friday and Saturday. Energy for the weekend. And I don't know about you, but even though I probably have to work on Saturday, Saturday's a day that, like, your job doesn't expect as much from you. I don't mean that you don't give your all, but you don't have to be so, a lot of times. So Saturday's a day you go into work, but it's like, it's not quite as high maintenance, or maybe not quite as stressful. I think that card was supposed to come out, and I threw it back in the deck. Oh, well, if it's meant to come out, it will. It will come back out. And there it is. All right. I lied. Maybe we'll get one more. I have a thing with evenness. And, okay. Well, the energy is not lacking today, I'll say that. All right, let's take a look at these first. You can see I've got about 8 cards here. Can you really see that? I'm not sure. I can try to get you adjusted a little bit better here. How's that? Okay, we'll take a look at what we have going on first. We start out with the Star. A wish, a dream, something that you have that you hold really, really dear to you. Looks like there's a big possibility this could happen, and I think that ties in with what we talked about when we last spoke for the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday guidance, with that progression of opening yourself up, allowing something new, and knowing that that new thing that you've allowed is going to come to full fruition. It's the same. This is the same thing. This is kind of telling us that same thing. And next we have the Six of Cups, which is a card that always reminds me to not take yourself quite so seriously. So in opening yourself up to this new thing, which I think is emotional, maybe a friendship, maybe it could be a love, it could be putting yourself out there for a new job. But in doing that, don't take yourself too seriously, because you might get too wound up and too worried about what people will think. Like, little kids don't care what anybody thinks, but you might get too worried about what people think, and you may not put your all into it. You may not show people who you truly are, which would be really, really sad, because who you are is who you're meant to be, and you should never apologize for that, ever. So don't forget who you were when you were little, And then here we have the Seven of Pentacles, and you have some choices to make in your personal life and in your day-to-day life. But there is abundance, and you can see all the abundance here. But she's got this one fruit that looks really ripe, and she's got a basket with a couple others, and there's some up here that aren't quite done. And I guess you could pick them now if you wanted to. It's just all about what you would like to have, and you're able to make the choice right now with the different levels of abundance where you'd like to end up. And here we have the Three of Pentacles, and you see that you have support. You have support. Look how, she's like kind of sitting up on his shoulder, and he's like fully supporting her, and she looks calm and relaxed, and She just kind of leaned into that support. So remember to lean into that support that people give you. Even though you probably can do it yourself, it doesn't mean that you have to. So if somebody's willing to offer you some support, there's nothing wrong with taking that. And then we have this Ace of Swords. And I love this because this means it's time for a new idea, a new way to do something. Let me move this cord. Oh, that's awful, huh? Oh, no, that made it worse. It's really bright. Anyway, this is a new idea, a new plan. This can be work. This could be an invention. This could be something that you have in your mind that you maybe haven't told anybody about, but this is a new idea. And given the fact that you're going to not take yourself real seriously, that the wishes that you have and the dreams that you have can possibly be starting to come true, if you allow them, because you have to allow that. That's the thing. Nothing can happen in your life that you don't allow. And then you have here, you can pick and choose the things that are ripe and that are ready for you now, and know that you have all of this support. That's a perfect time for you to take advantage of this ace right here, this Ace of Swords. And like I said, maybe you have an invention. Maybe you want to write a book. Maybe there's something that you've been thinking about in your mind for years, a song, something that you want to write. Now is the time. Now is the time. Something, if it requires a serious amount of mental energy, this is the time to look at that. And here we have the Nine of Wands. And I always take this card as like observing, like the Eight of Wands is like that kind of fast, crazy energy, and the Nine of Wands is like taking a deep breath, seeing all you've accomplished, making a new plan, and then moving forward. So that's what I see here with this Nine of Wands. You've accomplished a few things. There are some things that you've accomplished, but it's time for you to kind of take stock of all of those things, decide what's working, what's not, and get ready to move forward. And here's this card that I stuffed back in the deck that came back out, the Eight of Pentacles. And I love this card. If you look at the spider, you see the beautiful work that the spider does, right? So much hard work has gone into something that you're working on, right? Something that you're working on. Let me look at how she, if you look at how she handles this fruit, like she's so delicate, she's not ripping it off the vine and she's not chopping the vine down. She's kind of just barely touching it. So something that you've taken a lot of time and a lot of love, you put a lot of love and time and patience and energy into something, and that something is going to be coming to fruition. There is something on the horizon for you because of all of this hard work that you've done. Something is on the horizon for you over this Friday and Saturday. There are opportunities that are coming. And here we have the Hierophant, who always looks to me like, I always think like a philosopher, like one of those guys that sits up in a cave somewhere and thinks about stuff and figures everything out for you in the universe. That's what I always think of when I see this card. But it always reminds me that you are your own best teacher. You know deep inside what's really important to you. You know deep inside what idea will just make your life really happy. You know deep inside what you're dreaming about. And I'm not going to answer that. So it will go to voicemail. So it's, anyways, you know deep inside what you're dreaming about, what your most treasured wish and goal is. You know what that is. Annabelle, it was just the phone. So remember, everything is possible right now. And do not take yourself too seriously, because if you worried every time about, if a child worried every time about what they were wearing or saying, they wouldn't be kids. They would never have that joy of just being children, just being able to have fun, right? So the raw idea that you have, and it may be, since this is the ace, kind of a raw idea. You may not have it all figured out yet, but whatever this is that uses your mind and your intellect, it's very important. And this is not a time to cast it aside like, I'll do it another time. Oh, maybe later. Oh, some other time. This is not the time for that. You've been working very, very hard, and you've accomplished an awful lot of stuff here. So let's take stock of that. Let's take stock in the things you've accomplished. Kind of look at what you're dreaming about and not take yourself too seriously. Pick and choose just the right things that you know will work for you. And the things that are, like, if you look at these top fruits, they're not all the way ripe. It's like ripe, not ripe fruit, you know, like not ripe bananas or something. You can eat them, but they're not as good. So really be careful in what you choose. You look at, if you can see that card, you can see how intent she is on what she's choosing. Like, she's like really focused, and she's really looking at what she's choosing, and she's handling it so carefully. That's what I want you to do with this idea. Handle it really carefully. It may not be ready for the world to see yet, but that's okay. But just be very gentle with that idea. Don't take it too seriously, and don't try to box it into something or somewhere or make it make sense to the universe. It doesn't need to make sense to anyone but you. Just like a little kid, right? When they like do playtime or pretend or whatever little games they play, it makes sense to them. And as parents and siblings, you kind of look on and you're like, what are they doing? Like little kids, you're like, what are they doing? But they're having the best time. It's sort of like that. Take it like that. And I'll try to get a couple more cards. Ah, there's one right into the garbage. The Seven of Cups. We had this last week too. We have a lot of options ahead of us, a lot of options going on, and it's easy to become overwhelmed. I like to look at it as like, you have all these options, what are you going to do? So it's not so much a card of doom and gloom. You can see they're a little confused. There's stuff on the ground here spilled around. She's pointing one way. He's looking at a map or a scroll. Like, they're kind of not knowing exactly what they're doing there, but that's okay. That's okay. You have a lot of options. Just take the time, use your very sharp mind, and take the time to do the work and see what works for you and what does not work for you. And just like we said a couple days ago with that Judgment card, bring it to justice, decide if it's good for you or not, and if it's not, get rid of it. And I guess these are our last two. We'll be wrapping this up shortly. We have the Queen. Yeah. We have the Queen of Wands. And if you look at her, she has accomplished an awful lot of things. She's got her own little audience. When you look at these little foxes, this little fox down here, they're looking at her like, wow, she has gotten a lot of stuff done. Major respect for her, and she is like in her own right, just like, this is what I do, and she's totally fulfilled. She's playing this harp that's like part of the tree. Can you see that? I think you can see that. Yeah, you can see she's playing this harp, and it's part of the tree, and she is just in her own element, doing her own thing. Like, she is on her own wavelength, and she knows who she is. She knows where she's going, and we're past. It's a progression here from the stage where we're like observing. Okay, what do we have so far? What are we going to do next? We're past that, and now we're here at the Queen. And then we've had this last week too, because that always happens, right? I say this every time. It's a story. You'll get some of the same cards every time, and this is a huge deck, so it's not like there's 20 cards and you get the same cards. We have the Two of Pentacles. Some people say this card has like a nervous energy, and I never feel that way. Although I see him like trying to balance a bunch of things, he doesn't seem upset to me. It doesn't seem exciting. It seems like, this is what I have to do right now. And you know what? That's okay, because all of our life, we have regular, practical, I call it like non-woo-woo parts of our life that we have to balance. So you need to make sure that you balance out the non-woo-woo parts of your life, your work, your family, your job, your work outside of work, your parenting, your sports, whatever other interests you have and responsibilities you have. Everything has to be in balance, or else you aren't able to take advantage of like this raw idea here. You won't be able to do anything with that, or you won't be able to discern what you need to do next because your life's out of balance. When your life is out of balance, you don't make good decisions. So here you have all these opportunities. So let's make a good decision and choose the right opportunity, because I think you have a few different directions that you can go ahead of you, and you're maybe not quite sure which one to take. I would take the one that's something that you've dreamed about, something that you've always wanted to do, and something that you will have to separate, that you don't care what other people think, because that's the only way that you'll be able to truly take whatever this piece of raw, intellect or knowledge, this raw idea that you have. It's the only way you'll be able to take that and bring it to fruition. So you were able to bring some emotional fulfillment over the last few days. Something has gone on that way, and now we're looking to start something intellectually. So this is the time to, maybe over the weekend, maybe you can get away a little bit. Maybe you can do a little bit of meditation. Maybe you can spend some time with friends, but maybe you could just spend some time at the library, some time alone, whatever. Research a project that you want to do. It's a very good time, maybe Saturday, to research something that you're interested in, something that pertains to this idea. Get all the information that you can get so that you're able to discern what it is you need to do next, because you have all these opportunities and all this stuff going on. And also we want to take some time over this weekend, maybe Saturday, to make sure that everything stays balanced. And that even comes down to like getting your laundry done, getting your house clean, getting your stuff in order, because when that's all in order, you can do everything else. It's like you can't start baking cookies when your entire kitchen is a disaster and the sink is full of dishes. You have to clean everything up first. So clean everything up first, and then you'll be better able to discern what you have to do next. I hope you like this. This was for Friday the 5th and Saturday the 6th of October, the weekend guidance. If you would like more information, you can look at my website at www.bitchinahurry.com, where you'll find the links that show like the decks that I like, and also personal readings. And you can always find me on Instagram at bitchinahurry, all one word. And I'll give some more detailed explanations of the cards there, and some more deeper meanings and deeper things that I get insights from this reading as well. So I hope to see you there. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.